you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this very special edition of the Saturday Night Reaction with myself and Ray. Why is it special? Well, you may have seen in the title, which I changed about 40 minutes ago now, I don't know any of the results. So, firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to Alex Volo. I went to see if he had done my thumbnail for tomorrow's stream, funny enough, and we're going to get into that later, and lo and behold, he actually created the one for tonight. So again, as ever, thank you very much to Alex Volo for creating these brilliant thumbnails, as ever. Also, get well soon, mate. I know you've been going through a bit of shit at the moment, but, you know, we're here. We're all here for you, as they say. But yes, I don't know any of the results today, and I'll explain why I don't know any of the results today whatsoever. So, I knew for fact that I was going to be working with Sarah. Now, if you know who Sarah is, you'll understand who that is because of the Total Steeler podcast. And basically, I knew for fact that she was going to be working with me directly. So that meant me not being able to listen to any of my podcasts, the fact that there was no streamception, or the fact that I'd listened to FPL last night, live after us, essentially means that I thought to myself, well, by the time I start listening to the football, it's going to be not until, at the earliest, the second half of the Premier League games. However, it turned out that Sarah wanted to stay here longer than normal, and she basically stayed till about 5:45, something like that. And I thought, well, I genuinely didn't know any of the Premier League games. I didn't know the Arsenal result, the West Ham Arsenal result. And I'm thinking, this is great. This is brilliant. So I messaged Ray. I can't even remember when I messaged Ray. I think it must have been about, I think it was 2 minutes to 3, wasn't it, Ray? Something like that?
Yep.
2 minutes. Yep. 2 minutes to 3. And I just said, this is an urgent voice message. Please listen. And I said to him, I'm telling you now, I will not be knowing any of the results. So what we're going to do is, when we go live, at the point when Ray starts speaking, it will be him going through in chronological order today's results. Now, I'm going to caveat this by saying this. When it got to about 5:45, so at work, we've discovered that we've got access to YouTube. It's great. Watching Yelena's vlogs, hilarious. While I'm at work, well, I wasn't even at work. I don't really do anything at 6 o'clock. So I'm there thinking to myself, fucking hell, I've got YouTube. This is crazy. Right, okay. And the security guards were watching Auditing Britain, a load of clickbait hungry idiots that try to make out the police are morons. I find it just offensive, but whatever. And you're never going to believe this, Ray. As I'm scrolling through the videos, a Premier League Sky Sports results came up. Now, can you guess which match it was? Can you guess which match of today's 5 or 6? No, 5 was presented. Just have one guess. Which match was it?
What time was this roughly?
This would have been about 10 to 6. So it was a 3 p.m. kickoff today. Which match?
Palace Newcastle.
No. It was, I believe it was Brentford versus Leicester, and I believe the score was 4-1. Now, don't say anything. Don't say anything. I believe the score was 4-1. I think the thumbnail had Umbermo cheering, so I'm thinking, Well, that's my bets come through. That's the main thing. I had Mbeumo to score, and Mbeumo to score or assist. So that's 2 bets come through. And I thought, for fuck's sake, I'm not even so basically with the computer systems that we have, there's no algorithms involved because I don't even use YouTube on there. So apart from the last couple of days, and all I've been looking at is essentially anything but fantasy football other than typing in Yelena. And not even for FPL vlogs. So basically, I was just like, right, okay, so it was 4-1 to Brentford. And I had that urge to go, shall I check my phone? Shall I check my phone? And I thought, no, I'm going to stick to what I agreed with Ray. Now then, you'll be pleased to know Ray's about to speak, because I'm now going to introduce Ray, and Ray is essentially now going to host the show. So, and we will be saying hello to you guys after we've gone through this. So, hello Ray. Welcome to tonight's Saturday night reaction as ever. Take it away, my friend.
Hi everyone, I've been waiting for this day forever, so welcome to Elite Ray FPL.
I don't understand why people say the total bonus Stevo podcast, or in this case, when Gary interviewed me, he went Elite Stevo FPL. I thought, who the fuck is Elite Stevo FPL? It's just Elite FPL Steve. It's the same with you. Elite FPL Ray. It's not difficult. Anyway, carry on, please.
So, shall I just start reading out the scores, my friend? Because it was about a minute long.
Yeah, what I think you should do is, like I said, go from chronological, but don't do Brentford, Leicester 1, Ask me what I think the score was, what I predicted, and then literally go through what the goal scorers were and assisters. So let's go for it. Was it Brentford Leicester first?
Yes, it was Brentford versus Leicester.
And did it end 4-1?
Your Super Brew prediction.
I predicted 2-1 to Brentford.
Say it properly.
Well, no, because I only do the 2-1 when it's... I only do it... We're going to get onto Burnley's result because I don't have a clue what that is, and I can guarantee that was either 0-0, 1-1, or 1-0 either way. Yeah, I went 2-1 to Brentford. Was it 4-1?
It was 4-1.
Right. Okay, so that was spoilt then. Go for it. Let's hear what happened.
Okay, so the scorers for Brentford were Sade with 3.
What?
Sade got a hat-trick.
Is that the striker?
It is. So they actually played with Mbeumo, Lewis Potter, I believe, Vissa and Sade. All 4 of them played in this game.
Okay. Who got
Sade got 3 goals.
Yeah.
Vissa got 1 goal, so I was very happy with that.
And Burma didn't score.
Or assist.
He didn't score or assist.
Yeah, assists were from Collins, Damsgaard, and Sade. So Sade just had an incredible game.
No. Is that a joke? Obviously it's not. Fucking hell, Andy Martin's on. He won't even be watching this. Andy Martin's on Blue Sky Blue. Oh yeah, I've captained Mbeumo. You had FPL Olympian banging on about captain and Mbeumo saying, oh yeah, he's going to do... He got nothing in 4 goals. Jesus, who scored for Leicester then?
Buonanotte, assisted by Vardy.
I didn't even win a bet.
This is great.
Wow. That's insane. Okay, what's the next match? Yeah, go on.
Mbeumo actually had an assist removed for Sade's first goal to make it 2-1.
Why is that?
Because his intended cross wasn't for Sade. It kind of ricocheted out and then Sade sorted it in.
Okay. Fair enough. All right then.
All right.
On to the next game then. What was it?
The next one was Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. What was your prediction?
I think I changed it from 1 to 2-1 to Newcastle.
You almost did it in that monotonous voice that I love. So the final score was 1-1.
Ah, that's what the history predicted. It's like 1-1 every single time these bloody played. 1-1.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
So,
please tell me Isaac scored.
Newcastle took the lead. So in the 22nd minute, Isak came off injured.
Did he not score?
No, in the 22nd minute. And then Mark Guehi got an own goal from a Gordon assist.
Oh, God.
And then in the 94th minute, Guehi assisted Munoz for the equaliser in the last sec.
Wow. 94th minute.
So the guy who got the own goal got the assist at the end in Guehi.
All right, that's no money in my bank then. That's a complete fail. Brilliant.
So
Go on,
bonus
next.
points. Oh, just hold on. Bonus points went to Munoz with 20, Byrne with 19, and Guehi with 18, despite getting 3 for Munoz, 2 for Byrne, and 1 for Guehi, despite the fact Guehi got a known goal. Isn't that mad?
Okay.
All right. Next up, Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich. What was your prediction?
This was, in my opinion, was the home bank where I either went 2-0 or 2-1. I think I actually went 2-1 to be honest with you. In Super Brew.
So I predicted 1-0, and the final score was 1-0.
Please tell me it was Nottingham Forest.
Yes, Wood. Penalty.
Oh, Chris Wood. All right, okay. Yeah, well, as expected.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Wolves versus Bournemouth.
I'm in desperate need to Wolves. I'm genuinely in desperate need for Wolves to win this. Right, and I'll explain why in a second if it was a Wolves win. I think I went, you guessed it, 2-1 to Wolves.
Okay.
Please tell me Wolves won.
Wolves scored 2 goals.
Oh, don't tell me they fucking blew it.
Bournemouth scored 4. Hear this, Stevo. Clivert got a hat-trick and they were all penalties.
What?
Justin Clivert scored a hat-trick and they were all
penalties.
Yeah, the first ever time that's happened in the Premier League. 3 goals scored by 1 player in a game. Penalties.
Who got their 4th then?
Kirkes got a goal. And assists were Evan Nielsen with a hat-trick of assists. I think they were all from winning the penalties and Tavernier. Now to Wolves, who you really care about. 2 goals from Strand Larsen.
Well, please tell me Cunha got something.
Assists from Bellegarde and Guedes, so nothing from Cunha.
Who got rid of Strand Larsen? Was it Jelena or Alf or both? It was I'm sure one of them got 2, if not both of them, got rid of Strand Larsen. Maybe Jelena. Do we know?
I don't. Jelena, you're on the live. Was it you?
Oh, she here, is she?
Yeah.
This is in fact, if she
made up,
if she genuinely hit in the live,
yeah, she's here. Herself
all right.
And Az.
In all seriousness, she legitimately said some really nice comments about us and Alf on a Saturday in her vlog. Genuinely, very, very kind of you to say what you said. But can you please check your ex DMs now, please? Because I sent you a funny voice message on there. And you don't need to reply to it, but could you please just listen to it? And if you have a reaction, please put it in the chat. But you don't need to reply to it on X. But I do. Well, I don't need to go into any details, but you'll understand the joke. So that really pissed me off because I'll tell you why. Because I had Wolves to win and Newcastle to draw at 10-1. That came through at. Fuck's sake, 4-2. How did that pan out? How did the real life happen? Like,
so how did it? Yeah. So Clivert got a penalty after 3 minutes, and then Larsen equalised after 5 minutes. Then Kirkes made it 2-1 after 8 minutes. Stevo, this is all in the first 10 minutes. Clivert then made it 3-1 after 18 minutes, going into the second half. Larsen made it 3-2 in the 69th minute. Banter, and Clivert made it 4-2 in the 74th minute.
That's mental.
So
today,
I can tell you Oh, go on. You first.
Today, some very obscure results, apart from maybe Crystal Palace. That's incredible. That's blown my mind.
So before we go to the last game of the season of the evening, West Ham versus Arsenal, there was some feedback regarding what you were saying. Is Let's Talk FPL did Pedro to Strand Larson? Oh no!
Yes.
No. As is confirmed, it was Larson to Pedro. That's what Andy did from Let's Talk FPL.
Yeah, because I was. It's not even an interesting anecdote. I will not be talking about this on any FPL interview I ever do, which will be never. But I, for the first time, actually listened live to a deadline stream, which was Andy's, because he's pretty much my go-to. If I ever see anything live, he would be the go-to. And I genuinely, because I had nothing to listen to, because there was no streamception, and I thought, well, as soon as he's not on, fuck it, I'm just going to listen into Andy. And I will say this, I'm not the biggest fan of any deadline streams. I couldn't give a shit about them, to be completely frank. But there's something about Andy, I will say, that I don't know what it is. I find his self-deprecating type humour right up my street. And it's to the point of where I personally find it funny, because he's got 10,000 people watching him, and he literally is saying, with no irony, I'm just an idiot that sits in front of a camera. And he also talks in a way in which I kind of relate with. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him, but I generally do like it when Andy's live. But what I found really funny was when he did the talking about favourite sitcoms. And he made a point that at the end of the day, there's nothing to talk about regarding this deadline stream. And yeah, he was, I say trolled. It wasn't trolled at all, but thingamajig, Alf. Someone wrote in the comments an office quote, and Andy just didn't get it at all. And I kind of clipped it, and then it turned out the following day when I listened into Alf's stream, because I listened to Alf live for the first half, and then I listened to the second half this morning, and he then confirmed that he was the one that super chatted Andy 2 quotes from the office, and I'm just like, that's fucking genius. Like, not genius, it's what you press a button, super chat, done. But I just couldn't believe it was Alf of all people that fucking trolled him. Brilliant. Like I said, I'm not going to be using that anecdote on Piers Morgan or anything, but certainly, just to pass 10 seconds of people's worthless lives. Okay, so it was Andy, yeah, because I must have heard that on Andy's stream last night then. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. So Palmer captaincy is going to be a complete fuck up tomorrow then. Brilliant. Come on then, Ray, let's get on with this West Ham game. I'll just...
No, not yet. Well. Yelena says, ha ha ha. Steve-O and I are Kelly Rowland and Nelly. Would you mind elaborating?
Oh, so basically, well, I could play the message, but I can't be bothered.
You can sing the song. I wouldn't mind.
What's the song? Maybe it's the song that was being played. By the way, is that the one that goes... Is that the one? Right, okay, so basically... I don't really want to go into... I'll do it privately.
No, do it later.
I'll do it privately. I'm not going to do it live in front of 10 people. unless Yelena gives me permission.
The last to 2. One is my burner account, and the other one's Yelena.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. So, that was the final game. Was it Wolves versus Bournemouth?
That was the final 3 p.m. game.
Okay, so we then move on to West Ham versus Arsenal. I predicted it may have been 2 or 3-1. I really wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal kept a clean sheet. Go on, Ray.
West Ham 2, Arsenal 5.
5-2.
Yeah.
Break the news.
Okay, I'm just going to go moment by moment. So in the 10th minute, Saka assisted Gabriel for a goal from the four corner.
Fucking hell.
In the 27th minute, Trossard scored another Saka assist. In the 34th minute, Odegaard scored a penalty by, you guessed it, Saka being fouled. 2 minutes later, in the 36th minute, we went 4-0 up. Kai Havertz from a Trossard assist. 2 minutes after that, Wan-Bissaka scored. Yeah, you heard that right. Wan-Bissaka scored from a Salah assist. 2 minutes after that, in the 40th minute, hear me now, it was 4-2. Emerson scored a brilliant free kick. And in 45 plus 5 minutes of stoppage time, Saka scored a penalty, Steve. Nothing happened in the second half, and it finished up 5-2.
Saka got 4 returns out of 5, or 4 returns out of a potential 10.
Yes, yeah, okay, that's what you can say. Yeah, out the
1 goal and 3
goals,
assists.
he got and he was sparkling, absolutely brilliant.
Fucking. Do you know what makes me sick is that Andy last night had somebody message him to say words to the effect of, why are you putting people off the Saka captaincy? And Andy's just basically saying, I just don't think it's worth captaining Saka, or words to that effect, or more specifically, Saka's a good option, but I just wouldn't captain myself. Even if I had Palmer and Saka, I wouldn't captain him. Fucking hell. 5-2 in the first half.
Yeah, it was insane. When we went 4-0 up, we were absolutely incredible. Switched off, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, that 5th goal in stoppage time of the first half was really needed, because they were all over us. They had like 67% possession after we went 4-0 up for like that 10 minutes. But
how did Bowen
in the
play?
second half, it just ran off. Go ahead.
How did Bowen and Kudos play?
Well, Kudos was suspended, so he's back after his 5-match ban. He's back on.
Sorry,
they're playing next.
5-match ban. What?
Yeah,
Why?
for someone in the chat, please help me. But yeah, for his sending off or something about malicious violence or some bollocks like that. You know how it is.
When?
And Bowen was well locked up, I must say, on the left.
Fucking hell. Jason has had anybody with Saka has had a field day. 1 goal and 3 assists.
Yeah.
Why did Odegaard take the first penalty? Just for
That's interesting, because they were talking about it, and then I had to think. When Henry used to win penalties, he never used to take them. It would normally be Pires. And when Saka won this penalty, Odegaard got it. I couldn't tell you why, Steve. Kudos kicked off at Spurs. Yeah, he did something and then got a 5-match ban. JK Guna, just confirmed. Violent conduct, 2 extra games from 1-0 to 3 from Shaxx. That went up to 5. Yeah. He admitted to violent conduct. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
I don't even think I had any points today. I'm just trying to think of the top of my head. Yuri 0, unless he got a yellow card, so that'd be -1. It would don't say anything. Don't reveal anything.
Yeah.
What else did I have? And Burmo, 2 points. And
Verbruggen and Pedro.
Who? Oh no. I mean today, from today specifically. I didn't have any West Ham. I don't have any Arsenal. Why would I? Fucking hell, Ray. That's awful. Admittedly, I've got Mazrari, Armour Captain, Salah. Oh, I had Cunha as well.
Do you want to know how you've done today?
Well, I could probably guess. I'm probably on a total of... Well, don't say anything. I'm probably on a total of about... 9 points at best. Probably 8.
Am I confirming? Am I telling you?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you got 8 points.
Yeah, how many played? Pedro, Verbruggen, Cunha, 8 Nuri, and Burma.
Yeah, you've had 5 play, which is less than everyone who's above you in the Moderators League.
Less?
Yes, you've had less.
Because they've had Saka, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, Blonde has had a stormer. Even though she took out Strand Larson for Pedro, which is quite funny. She got 44 points.
Yeah.
In fact, she's had an incredible day. She has Gabriel, Saka, and Wood.
There's times like this. So just before we started this, because I had to do anything but look at results, and I was doing press ups, Yelena. I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to put on a Brock Lesnar DVD. It's from 2003, 2004. It's got his best matches on there from that era. So I watched him versus The Rock at SummerSlam, and then I watched most of him versus Hulk Hogan for the chance to go to SummerSlam.
Oh, where he passed out to a bear hug.
Oh, God, do you know what? You've just spoiled it for me, but yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, I don't know what to say other than let's just end this. No, we're not going to end the stream because me and Ray are going to be talking in depth about our transfer strategy moving forward. But I'm just thinking constantly in my head about Saka, 1 goal and 3 assists. That is absolutely extraordinary. And it's just sickening that I know that thankfully no one's captained him, not to my knowledge, not that I know of anybody captaining him. It's just the fact that I now need Palmer, who is my captain, go off on one and try and somehow match, but it's not going to happen. Talk to us about this West Ham game, Ray. Well, first half that you watched. Talk to us.
For the 40 minutes when we went, for the 36 minutes when we went 4-0 up, we were absolutely brilliant, Steve. We were parked in their half. West Ham could not get out whatsoever. And, you know, Ødegaard and Saka, I know it's so underrated. We say it so much, but I said to you after the Nottingham Forest game 2 weeks ago, I said that I believe he's our best attacker. He makes everything click, and Saka was phenomenal. And when we were 4-0 up, it was a deserved 4-0 lead. Like, we were just absolutely destroying them. But I don't know what happened, and maybe it's I guess it's kind of expected in a way, but we switched off, and one lovely through ball, and Wan-Bissaka, again, Wan-Bissaka scored. And then West Ham's tails were up, and you know I've watched a few matches at West Ham Stadium as well. You know, even though it's far away from the pitch, because you know it was the Olympic Stadium, wasn't it? The crowd really, really, really started to ramp up, and then they got another goal 2 minutes later. And from there until we got our penalty in technically the 50th minute of the first half, we were struggling to keep the ball, and then we finally got the penalty when Fabianski literally punched Gabriel in the head after he won the header. He actually punched him in the head, which was quite surreal to actually see the penalty be given.
Hold on a minute. Gabriel got an assist for that.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, he would have. Yes.
Fucking Jason's got Gabriel and Saka.
Yeah, he's had a storming day. He's got that's all right. He's got 29 points, but he's only got 29 points from 4 players.
Absolute madness.
And then in the second half, Arsenal didn't want to necessarily attack. We just wanted to, you know, see out the game, bit of game management. And I truly believe West Ham didn't want to get thumped further. So I think everyone was just like, we'll just keep it at 5-2. Nothing really happened whatsoever. Gabriel did come off. He didn't come out in the second half, Steve, but I think a lot of that was due to the precaution, because he did get a wallop by Fabianski.
Okay, do you want to just quickly go through the chat, see who's here, anybody's making any interesting points before we look at my team and talk about transfers and what we're looking at doing, please?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just read them out. Too Many Genders, Yelena, of course. Andrew Ferguson, Ray Qureshi, thank you for joining. Kevin Kelly, Woodstock Chris. We got Roberto, Yellow Army. Gary, FPL Have a Beer. If you guys didn't know, I did a video on Gary's channel Wednesday just gone. It was released. It was brilliant. Just spoke about kind of my journey into not playing FPL anymore. We got Shax, we got Dan, Stuart Fletcher, Gol Golazo, Sparta, One Life Soccer, Lu Bu, looks like a Vietnamese name, and we got PK7, Danny Boy. We got millions here, Sivo. Come on, this is our match of the day.
Millions.
The millions and millions.
It may be our match of the day, but that news about, well, Saka specifically, but Gabriel, it's. I always say this though, that with fantasy football, I do find that it seems to even itself out across, especially when you're an okay player. As long as you haven't got complete wild maniac picks, you're going to end up with. I'm just going to make this up now. So, for instance, if today someone had 8 players playing, they had 50 points, and then their remaining 3, on the Sunday got them up to a further 15, 20 points, so 70. The person who's only had 3 players playing today only gets 15 points, but then the following day they get a shed load. So, I'm just really hoping that is the case tomorrow when hopefully Palmer comes through with a ridiculous double-digit haul where I'm doing because I am going to be doing a watch along everybody because Jason's got Fernandez as captain, and I've got Palmer as captain, and everything's going really slowly at the moment. And I benched Brennan Johnson. Why did I bench Brennan Johnson, Ray?
Multiple reasons. A, we both kind of predicted he wouldn't start the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got out a roulette wheel and I put in Johnson and Rogers. And I span it, did a recording, sent it to Steve, and I said, well, the wheel of destiny says start Rogers, so we started him. So, yeah, we went by chance. But Rogers will start the game, and Villa are going to create opportunities. Chelsea are not a good defensive team, so I have no doubt about it. However, Maddison will likely start, and if he does, Kulusevski will go on the right, won't he? But Johnson's a good impact sub. But I'm actually quite disappointed considering how much I kind of advocate for you to get him rather than Garnacho. That, sure, he got you the goal last week, but now I look at him and think, oh my God, you're not a sure starter on the right like I thought you'd be.
It's just so freakish. Brentford 4, Leicester 1, and Burmo nothing. Nothing. West Ham 2, Arsenal 5. Saka 1 goal and 3 assists. Gabriel a goal and an assist. And this all just happened in the first fucking half.
Yeah.
Let me just, in fact, this is literally going to be a live reaction. Oh no, I can't go on that blasted fucking website, can I? On a minute. So, I don't know the Burnley result. So I'm going to now check what that Burnley result was. So, basically, we were away at Stoke. I'm going to go with, I've just seen the bloody result. Brilliant. Well, I predicted 1-0, 0-0, 1-1. It ended, we lost 2-0. Did we lose? No, we won 2-0. Oh! Fucking hell, yes. That's how you fucking do it. Oh, fantastic. 2-0, Ray. J. Rodriguez again. Oh, that's superb stuff. That is delightful. That is delightful. We are ridiculous this season, Ray. From a defensive point of view, we are absolutely ludicrous. We've conceded 6 goals all season.
That's incredible. 6 goals in 18 games.
And, I mean, admittedly, they only scored 23 because we only score 1 goal a match. But incredibly, 2-0 last time out, 2-0 today.
2-0.
Fuck me. Look at the top of the table is ridiculous. Sheffield United on 38, Burnley 36, Leeds 35, Sunderland 33 are just slowly dropping off a cliff. In fact, they've drawn the last 4, lost 1. That's insane. And then Middlesbrough 30.
Yeah.
And that's taken my mind off the misery of FPL for a split second. But going back to FPL, 5-2, Ray. I'm mystified by that result. I mean, look, Brighton Southampton surprise result. I only watched it because Alf was live on, and I thought, do you know what? I like listening into a live stream while a football game's on. And then it got to the point of, I think it was the half time, and I was just like, do you know what? I'm just going to watch Prison Break. To hell with it. So I watched the 4th episode, watched that, and I thought, right, there's going to be at least 20 minutes to go of this Brighton Southampton game. I was just watching, I was thinking, Brighton aren't scoring here. And then I see Pedro being substituted, I just laughed. I see Welbeck substituted, I just laughed. See Lewis Dunk come on, I just laughed. And I thought, you know what, there's 10 minutes left. But there wasn't only 10 minutes left, because I saw there was like 13, 14 minutes added extra time. Well, whenever Dibbling was yellow carded, it was on the 90th minute plus 12, which is ludicrous. And can I just make this point as well? That's Southampton. Did you see that ruled off goal, Ray?
Yeah, I could not believe it. That was
a fucking
absolute robbery. And it's not a word I use a lot. It's a very popular word in football and FPL, robbery. But that was just absolutely insane that goal wasn't given. What was it? I don't even think he touched the ball, did he? The player
no, he
before
didn't. It just clowns.
It was a distraction of some sort, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
They're just making it up as we go along. To be completely honest with you, making it up as we go along. But yeah, Brentford 4. Like we say, Brentford 4-1, and Burmo not getting anything. I mean, I don't know what Andy Martin's going to be like right now. Probably contemplating life, but just what the fuck, man? I mean, 4-1 and Burmo nothing. Fucking incredible. And like you say, Newcastle 1-1, and and these two fixed it. What? Seriously, what on earth? Kluivert 3 penalties.
Insane.
And then Evan Nilsson getting all 3 assists for that.
Steve-O, you have to watch the penalties Wolves were giving away. It was so embarrassing that I'm not even going to tell you what they did. I would like you to watch it after our stream. Yeah, it was pathetic, so bad.
I probably won't, but I'll out of respect to you, I may do.
You may do out of respect to me, or you may
look at this as well. So yeah, sorry to interject, but this is in the Arsenal West Ham game. Saves Fabianski 2, Raya 3.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really? Oh wait a minute. I want to see Flecken actually. Did he only get 2 points? Oh, thank God. He only got the same points as Verbruggen. Is there any hope for me tomorrow, Ray? With Palmer captaincy?
Yes, there is, absolutely. Absolutely. I love the players that you have left. So, as you said, you got Mazraoui at home to Everton. The problem I'm having with Mazraoui is he's playing right centre-back in that back three. And in my opinion, he should not be. He should be playing right wing back. You have Rico Lewis. Okay, he's in because we expect him to start. I think Palmer at home to Villa is an incredible game to captain. I think Rodgers away to Chelsea is also an excellent game because they're going to create opportunities even though they're in shit form. And Haaland is not playing Konate tomorrow, Stigo. Yeah. It's going to be Gomez or Kwanzaa. And like I've been waxing lyrical to, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit tonight, is he is getting opportunities. And that starting lineup, I'm just talking obvious here, but that starting lineup with Man City, if I see a creative midfield of KDB starting, I think that Haaland is going to get obviously more opportunities because he's incredible and world-class and the players around him are world-class, at least the creators, and I feel he will score tomorrow, which is why I can see Man City getting a draw simply from the fact that KDB may start, and I actually think he will start. And also, Konate is not starting because I think Konate has been the best Liverpool defender this season, not Van Dijk.
For me tomorrow, to make me feel sane when doing the watch along. So again, I reiterate this point: tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be doing a watch along. Ray, can you join me, or is that impossible?
Impossible, but I will be listening in and enjoying your emotions.
So, I'll be doing a watch along to that. If anybody does want to join me potentially, just email me, DM me on X. But
OnlyFans at Steve_O.
Yeah.
For free?
900
For
grand a week.
free?
Cretins. That's a total Steve podcast in itself. Thanks to Mr. E. Thanks for pissing me off, mate. So, yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing this watch along. Chelsea versus Aston Villa, Man United versus Everton, Tottenham at home to somebody else I've completely Fulham. And ideally for me, this is just me speculating right now, Man United to keep a clean sheet. Palmer to come through with a double-digit score. So 10 points. Let's just say 10 points. Leave it at that. So 10 points.
Okay.
Fernandes to do something at least. And Salah to... I want Salah to blank. I don't think he will. Unfortunately, I don't think Salah will because he seems to have an okay record against Man City. But what I do want to happen, Ray, is Haaland and Man City to look good. If Haaland... We basically, me and Ray have been having these back and forth conversations on VMs and just basically talking about how I personally want Haaland in the next 2 fixtures, which is tomorrow against Liverpool and then on Wednesday against Nottingham Forest, in which we've got a big watch along night. So for anybody listening in right now, on Wednesday evening we have got Roberto covering Newcastle versus Liverpool. We've got Rupert aka Sean Dyche aka FPL semi-casual covering Nottingham Forest, Man City home to Nottingham Forest. We then have Gary, aka FPL Have a Beer, that did a brilliant interview with Ray, which I highly recommend checking out. He's covering the Wolves versus Everton game. We then have Nick of FPL Juice covering Arsenal versus Man United. We then have Jason covering, well, he'd be watching Arsenal Man U, but also covering Brentford versus Aston Villa, or Aston Villa versus Brentford. And then there's another game, isn't there, Ray, that I've completely forgotten about. And that, Trigger Lips. He'll be joining us to watch Southampton versus Chelsea. So it's a really big evening. So we want to see as many people coming in and joining in the fun for that specific Wednesday.
Are all the videos going to be on, Stevo? Or is it some...
I've told Jason, don't fuck me about. We're having all 6 people on. Or 7 people, in fact. And I want everybody to get a natural reaction because I don't want it just to be audio. It's a waste of time. Amazing. I want natural reactions to it all. So there'll be 7 of us all on screen. Jason can do it. And everybody will be able to join in the fun and have a lot of fun with that because I'm really looking forward to Wednesday evening. And tomorrow's going to be really interesting because covering the Chelsea game, which is on TV... And then, of course, I'll have one earbud in for Man United and the other earbud in for Spurs if we've got 2 different commentaries, which I'm hoping there will be. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. And the fact it's at 1:30 as well, which suits me perfectly. And then, of course, tomorrow evening, I'm going to do this live. Tomorrow evening, I'll be doing the Sunday surgery. And the answer is... All right. Sorry, I've just received I received a message from Jason at 4:30 saying that, just to let you know, I'm at the Natural History Museum today. It's shit. In fact, Ray, have you ever been?
Of course.
What do you think?
Not as good as it used to be. So when I took my kids there, it was shite about 4 months ago.
Yeah, it's crap. Yeah. It's like the Science Museum. It's just boring. And he said that he's parked in Hammersmith and Fulham.
Oh wow! Okay.
I could have driven down there. What's Mr. Reed saying? At least Saka. Oh fucking hell! Huh. Here we are. Here's a live reaction. At least Saka transfer paid off. I should have captained him, like you said. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Reed. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka scored again. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Mr. Reed, actually, yeah. How well's he doing today? Let's have a quick look at Mr. Reed's team. Not that anybody else can see this on the screen. I can't be bothered to bring it up, to be honest with you. Thanks. He's still top of the Torbay Elite League. 28 points today. He did Saka in. He captained Pedro, annoyingly. He's got Nicholas Jackson, Palmer, Vardiol, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Martinez left, and Salah left to play.
Sheesh. So on Salah, you were a little bit curious about his record against Man City. So in all competitions. In 21 appearances, he has 11 goals and 6 assists.
Yeah,
See?
I know. You don't need to tell
You know-
me. I'm fully aware.
Oh, okay.
I'm fully aware. I don't mean that in a disparaging way. It's just that whenever I do the Patreon podcast, little plug there. Whenever I do that, if you want additional content,
£4.99 a month.
yeah, if you want additional, yeah, that's
Worth it.
right. If you want additional content, you can sign up to our Patreon, and for $4.99 you get additional podcasts, personalised for you. And also, if you just sign up as a free member, you'll be able to listen to a brilliant conversation I had with Jason. It's 2 parts.
Amazing.
It's about, what is it, 3 hours long, near enough, give or
It
take.
is, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
a
right.
different side to Jason that people wouldn't have seen before.
Yeah, do you want to quickly plug it, Ray? Because it is free if you just sign up to Patreon.
Yes, so that actual 2-parter was brilliant because he basically answered all the questions that us Patreons had, including one that I asked, and I'll just share the question I asked. As I said, that your energy levels are not as high this season. Why is that, and what steps do you think you need to take to find the passion and energy for FPL again? And he answered it so honestly that I found a kind of new respect for him, and he answered a lot of other brilliant questions completely away from FPL, and I just felt like his mannerisms when answering the questions were kind of full of energy and passion as well, so it's just worth the sign on alone, guys. And also I've been a Patreon since they opened the Patreon, and it's phenomenal for me because I just get a lot of honest information, and fully worth it.
Yeah, I make this point a lot about podcasts. It is literally just me going, "You ready, Ray?" Yeah. Start record. Right then, Ray. And like we did with the Vincent Mann one. So if anybody's interested, if you want to follow the Total Stevo podcast, it's available on Spotify and any other podcast app that you use to download podcasts on. And me and Ray have started series 6 of the looking at the Vincent Mann documentary that came out recently. And me and Ray had, an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes just talking about the first 2 episodes. Is that right? I had a really, really good time.
Yes. We kind of covered the first 2 episodes, but mostly just talking about wrestling and Vince McMahon. It was brilliant. And there's going to be probably another 2 episodes, isn't there, Steve? Because there was 6 episodes in total.
That's correct. Yeah, we're going to be covering that for series 6. And then Ray sent me a in-betweeners gif of Jay, and I said, well, funny you bring up the in-betweeners because I'm going to be doing for series 7 probably watch back of the in-betweeners. I mean, me and Shane are having to do the extras Christmas one, but we're just trying to find time when to do, because Shane's unavailable at the moment. He's on holiday, so we're trying to find time to do the extras Christmas edition, and that'll be, I know for a fact that will be a laugh. But back to FPL. So we were talking about Haaland, and I'm in a bit of a, it's not even a conundrum, it's just a simple fact that I want to be getting rid of Haaland probably by game week 15, where, to be completely frank, I just have a feeling that City are just not the team that we think they are, and I think you're better off putting money into other assets which are going to bring you more value, shall we say. However, I have set Ray what would the word be, Ray? An ultimatum, is that right? Regarding how many goals / attacking returns that Haaland should be bringing across the next 2 fixtures, is that right? An ultimatum?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's probably the right word. Absolutely.
Of Haaland to bring in a minimum of 3 attacking returns. Now, preferably 3 goals, but 3 attacking returns. Would you say that Haaland at home to Nottingham Forest is the best captaincy next, or Palmer away at Southampton?
Palmer away to Southampton, because, Forest are a good defensive team, Steve. No doubt about it.
So despite the fact that you said to me the other day, I don't want to throw you under a bus, but I will.
Please do.
You said that Nottingham Forest
I don't want to, but I will.
You said that Nottingham Forest concede a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that Haaland over the next couple of games can return, because if not, by game week 15 I'll have 2 free transfers, because tonight, well, I'm going to ask Ray right now, I will be probably doing the Umbermo out for Bowen. Is that right, Ray?
That's what you've said, yeah. I agree on a West Ham asset, but not Bowen.
Yeah, do you want to explain why Kudos instead of Bowen?
Yeah, so all of my planning has been around you keeping Haaland. Now, if Haaland returns tomorrow, then straight away I'm thinking he'll be captain rather than Palmer in game week 14. You're asking me right now, game hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen how Haaland's performed on Man City. But if he scores against Liverpool tomorrow, I'm definitely saying that he should be captain against Forest. So all of my thinking and planning is around keeping Haaland and still trying to get Arsenal defence. If you bought in Bowen, it's not going to be very straightforward to getting in Arsenal defence early on with our great fixtures on paper. You're probably going to be waiting a few weeks and might have to be slicing and dicing a few players. Now, something that has come up is that Dunk, I think he's going to start games against Sibo.
Yeah, that's right.
He did come on yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, rather than look to get him out, do Rico Lewis.
Yeah, oh, no. Yeah, I'm already there. Rico Lewis is gone.
Okay, so I was thinking Mbumo to Kudus because I sent you a small snapshot. Of course, Bowen's a better asset. There's no doubt about that. But with that additional money that you're going to have in 0.8 million, you're then able to take out Lewis to someone like Timber in one move. And I like that more.
Now, I sent you a voice message saying, what about, and I'm literally doing this live as we speak, a double up. In fact, right, I can tell you this now for free. Kudos and Bowen in for Johnson and Mbermo. And I can get Timber in for Lewis. It's a -4 though, but I can do that move exact money.
I would say no. I wouldn't take a -4 to bring in an Arsenal asset because our next game is against Man United. And after that's away to Fulham. I don't think we'll get 2 clean sheets. And Timber's finding himself in fantastic areas, but he hasn't got a return yet, Sibo. So
for me, I'm not going to be bringing in Kudos yet. Did he even come on today?
Like I said, this was his last game of suspension.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So I'm not going to be doing that. There's no way, in the words of Vincent Mann, there's no chance in hell that I will be bringing in Kudos in for Mbermo when Kudos hasn't even started a match. It is literally going to be Bowen in for Mbermo. We then have the other problem, like you completely correctly said, which was Brennan Johnson. I mean, in my team, the problem with my team is, as people can see up on screen here, is that I've got problems. And the problem being that I've got Johnson, I've got Lewis, who are 2 players which are just not bringing in the returns, or more specifically, Johnson is now unfortunately a rotation risk. We then have Lewis Dunk, who unfortunately, as it stands right this second, admittedly due to injury, but he's lost his place. But I do agree with Ray, he'll be back soon. We've got Greaves, who... Did he play today, Ray? Greaves, do we know?
I couldn't tell you, sorry. I can check. Keep going.
Yeah. So Greaves is a potential problem, even though apparently their player, Kieran McKenna, the manager, has said that... Is it Kieran McKenna? He's basically come out and said that actually Greaves was one of our better players before he got injured. But since he got injured, they got really good returns or whatever.
Not in the squad today.
Not in the squad today, yeah. So he's a problem. So that's 3 people already. Dunk, Greaves, Lewis, Johnson. That's 4 that are a problem in this team. And 8 Nuri, you could argue, but look, these freak results. Was he involved in any of the penalties?
Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks for depressing me even more.
I've got him as well.
Telegraph, yeah. So I think from my standpoint, from this second, I think doing the Mbermo out for Bowen, just do that. It's done. We'll then move into game week 15, still with two free transfers. because I'll be playing Lewis at home to Nottingham Forest, of course. I will probably be starting Brennan Johnson against, is it Brighton or Fulham? Bournemouth. Away at Bournemouth. I'll probably do that move, because Rodgers at home to Brentford, that could be quite profitable. What do you think, Ray? Johnson rotation risk against Bournemouth, or Rodgers guaranteed against Brentford?
Well, depending on what happens tomorrow, Steve-O. I mean, a lot of people are talking about Saka, and guys, we are going to talk a little bit about bringing Saka into Steve-O's team, because he and I have sent a lot of voice notes to each other about it. But I was almost thinking for game week 14, Steve-O, is you could be radical and almost do what I said in regards to before. I said bring Mbumo down to like a Yarmouk 4.4, whatever, and then strengthen your defense. What you could do Mbumo to Bowen, then you could do Johnson to a nobody, and then you can strengthen your defense. So therefore, your playing team would be Rodgers, Salah, Palmer, Bowen, Cunha, Haaland, and João Pedro for game week 14.
And then, of course,
and then you got an Arsenal defender if you're going to take that -4. But you don't need to. I don't think you need to bring in an Arsenal defender in game week 14. Because I do believe Aït-Nouri, Lewis, and Dunk will probably start. And if Dunk doesn't, just play Mazraoui away to Arsenal,
Well, by the time we get to game week 40, because Saka went up by 10.3 last night, he's going to be 10.4 by the game against Man United. Then by the time we get round to, you said Fulham? Yeah, Fulham away, he's probably going to be 10.5. By the time we're even considering bringing him in, because that's at the point where Man City assets, in my opinion, could be gone. Haaland gone. Now, don't get me wrong, I think anybody that's got rid of Haaland, congratulations to you. You've played a blinder. You've been able to get in the likes of Saka and Palmer and Salah and whoever else as a strengthened midfield 5, and obviously a front 3 of Pedro, Cunha and Jackson/Visser. So congratulations to you. For people like me who have been stubborn and listening to Ray, unfortunately, Haaland is now just a problem. And I think that, without going over and over and round in circles, but we are, Haaland needs to get those returns in the next 3. If not, he's gone, and then it's going to be him out, and then Johnson up to Saka. It has to be done, Ray. Has to be done.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
I want Saka for versus Man United. I think that's a really good fixture.
Okay. So you're giving him just the one game then, isn't it?
Of course, Arsenal, Man United. Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Forget what I've just said there.
Okay, so you'd want him. Okay, if you can't get Saka by Man United, you'd want him by Fulham if you think Haaland's playing shit. Is that fair? Game week 15.
When I watch the game tomorrow between Liverpool and City, if Man City look like a sack of shit, which unfortunately I expect them to be so, then
yeah, but they're playing the best team in Europe at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, precisely. That's why I think holding him on for Nottingham Forest is just like, I'm just begrudgingly doing it.
Okay.
That's all. And then by which point, Nottingham Forest play Man City, and Man City win 1-0, 2-0, and Haaland gets 1 goal. It's Man City just assets aren't worth it. They're not worth it whatsoever. But what we can definitively say right now, as we sit here, Bowen is coming in for Mbeumo.
Okay.
We're both happy with that.
Not necessarily simply because of the Arsenal defence. But again, in my mind, you are 80% sure you're going to take out Haaland unless he pulls up trees in the next 2 games. So I'm not comfortable, or begrudgingly, if that makes sense. I'm using it for my senses. Okay, if you're bringing in Bowen, you're almost halfway there in regards to bringing out Haaland.
So I just think
the only
going
other
with
player, one sec, the only other real player you could do, which I know you wouldn't entertain, would be someone like Palmer or Salah, which doesn't make sense. You want to keep him.
I just think as well, if just for argument's sake, Kudus' ban was over last week and he played against Arsenal and he got an assist. He got an assist of the 2 goals, and you came to me and you went, you know what, Steve-O? Even though Bowen is an absolute guaranteed starter, he's the penalty taker for West Ham, but Kudus was the one that looked like he was on fire. He looked like the most creative player on the pitch. He looked like he could have got a goal today, but instead he got an assist. At that point, I'm thinking, Ray, you've charmed me. You have made a really strong argument there about bringing in Kudus. I respect your judgment, and it also means then I can get rid of Lewis for Gabriel. Oh no, wait a minute. Is Gabriel 6.2 or 6.3? Let me just quickly check here. He's 6.2. So at this point, in theory, I could go, see you later, Lewis. Bring in Gabriel or bring in Timber because of this potential injury that Gabriel's got. And at that point, we've then got an Arsenal defender and a West Ham attacker that's come back hungry. The problem with your plan is Kudus, he may not even play against Leicester. He may play 5 minutes. Well, no, it won't be 5 minutes. He may play 15 minutes against Leicester, do nothing. And then it's a case of, well, their fixtures upcoming are very good, which is true. Like you stated, Wolves, Bournemouth, Brighton, Southampton's there. Those next 4 or 5 are absolutely outstanding. But I would still have Bowen, who's this guaranteed player for West Ham. I'm happy to be bringing in Bowen for that.
Well, I've pivoted, Steve, because whilst you're talking about Bowen and we were a bit unsure on Johnson, that's where Johnson could be the scapegoat and bring him down to a non-playing player.
Absolutely.
To then bring in Arsenal defenders if Haaland is performing. Yeah, if you're going to keep Haaland, then Johnson could be that non-playing, and then at least the front 7 are very predictable, aren't they?
No, I that is at that point where I'm going, Ray, you're 100% correct, because this Johnson guy, it's annoying because ironically he's scoring.
Yeah, he got a goal. At least.
Well, this is the point. He got a goal, but even the guys at work, they said that they don't think that Bowen's going to be. Bowen, I'm on my mind. Johnson is going to be starting versus what do we call it? In fact, Dibbling. Dibbling would be the 4.5 million player that I've got in the team. At that point, I've then got 2.6 million in the bank. 2.6 to play around with. This is based on Haaland being in my team. I can then go, piss off, Lewis. You're a waste of space. I'm just going to bring in Timber for the sake of argument, because he's the cheapest Arsenal defender, guaranteed starter for the moment as well. Timber's in, and then that means I've got 1.7 to play around with. Now, it doesn't mean any way possible that I can be bringing in Saka, but I think that, let's get real here, I think deep down Ray, I think Haaland's going to be gone out of this team. I just do not think over the next 2-3 fixtures, Haaland / Man City are going to be turning it around to where me and you are going to go, we've played a blinder here, Steve-O. We've played an absolute blinder. We've kept Haaland. Not only did he get a goal against Liverpool, he scored a hat-trick against Nottingham Forest. We've then got Crystal Palace away where he's gone and scored 2 goals. He's then scored a goal against Man United. And all these people that got rid of him, they're all looking down thinking, Christ, how do we get this player back in for Everton, Leicester and West Ham? But it won't happen. I'll be lucky in the next... So Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, Man U, that's 4 matches. I reckon he'll probably get about 3 returns, the way it's going at the moment. If Kevin De Bruyne isn't playing. I think Kevin De Bruyne is the key, Ray.
He's always been the key for everything creative for Haaland. And he's been getting opportunities without KDB. So with KDB, I'm just kind of looking at it together and thinking that he could, he'll eventually turn this around. And you know how Haaland is. He's a street player. He'll get 1 goal. He'll suddenly get 4 in 3 or something stupid like that. And I guess, you take out Haaland, that's it until wildcard, isn't it? Like, I couldn't foresee when you'd bring him in without doing some serious surgery to your team. But again, you cross that bridge when it happens.
I must say, Triggerlaps, I think made a very valid point on his video regarding Haaland, and I think personally the play this season legitimately has been not to have Haaland. I think in FPL specifically, I think the play has been not to have Haaland and to have these other premium players.
Combinations.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because let's not mess about here. The ones like, for instance, Jason, who got rid of Haaland just a couple of weeks ago. He's, apart from his hits galore, he's doing exceptionally really, really well. Like for instance, today he's had Saka and Gabriel. Don't have to worry about Haaland. He's got the likes of Jimenez, who probably will score tomorrow against Tottenham, and people like Jason and Firetog and Blonde and all these others that have got rid, and even Dread that have got rid of Haaland, are just running away with it basically. And there's people like me that are just stuck slap bang in the middle, just kind of like keeping up appearances almost. I mean, I've got the on screen right now the transfers I was just talking about just now with Bowen, Dibbling and Timber. Then that's completely free. Now that ain't gonna be happening, but Dibbling would be the 4.5 that I would get rid of, would bring in for Johnson.
There is a 4.4.
Yeah, but Dibbling is.
You want a player?
I want a player. Yeah,
okay,
he's the best player for 4.5 in that mid range. Is there any interesting comments, Ray? Is there anybody new around here joining us? And if you are brand new around here, enjoy what me and Ray are discussing, or just Elite FPL in general, please make sure you are hitting the subscribe button. It's much grateful. And obviously, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you are hitting the like button. Yeah, any interesting comments, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, question mark facts, a little bit of Dragon Ball conversation with me because I'm a big anime fan, as is he. Colm Burglar has joined. He was watching Alf's stream. Otherwise, also another comment here: if you're selling Haaland, just commit and spread those funds and wait out till the next wildcard. Yeah, things we were saying before as well. And there was some conversations about possibly taking out a keeper, and I said perhaps only Raya, but even then it's a massive if, because if you now ask me, would I rather have Ray or Timber? I'd say Timber.
In fact,
which is completely against what I'd normally say, but for me, it would be Timber. I'd rather take Timber.
Yeah, and I don't really care for Raya. I'd rather have I'd rather have Timber Gabriel, which is what my plan is. That's what I've said to Ray. I want Gabriel, Timber, and Saka. That's the. Oh, now, who was the one that said about getting rid of Haaland and just get on with it? Words to that effect.
Everyone.
Everyone, right. So the username everyone. No, I understand that point of view. I really, really do. But I'm trying my hardest to not be taking too many drastic hits in the sense of taking out players which I don't really need to take out. Haaland, I don't really desperately need to take out. Could I foresee people like Saka getting 3 assists and 4 attacking returns out of a potential 10 in the Arsenal away at West Ham? No. A double-digit haul? Possibly. 1 return? Yeah. But 4? This is what always makes me laugh about people when it comes to it's hindsight merchants, isn't it?
Yeah, tell me about it.
If Saka did nothing today, people aren't even looking at Saka. They just take him out of their mind. Whereas because he's come through with this ridiculous score of 15 points, then people are going, you need to get Saka in, you need to get Saka in. Yeah, you are right. We know the quality, what Saka brings. I know Nick bangs on about him on FPL Juice all the time. In fact, Nick may have even captained Saka. I don't know. But yet you are right. Saka is somebody who's an absolute top coming up towards a world-class player. I still think there's a lot that he needs to do in his game to become that.
I agree with you.
He's 22 years old, 23 years old. So, yeah, like you said, he's like the Rooney, isn't he, for Arsenal?
Sure.
So, I know that deep down, I need to get rid of Haaland. I know that, but right now he's not an emergency in this team right now. Without going over it, but I will. The emergencies, so to speak, are Lewis and Rob and Johnson, because they're just not, well, Lewis is just a waste of space, and Johnson is it unfortunately looks like he's lost his place, and I think Postecoglou has found his best starting 11. I think that's unfortunately the case now that Johnson's lost his. I think, who was it again that was it? Postecoglou himself actually came out and said that Johnson needs to work on his game as well or something. So yeah, a bit frustrating, but certainly today I think I'm happy. Well, in fact, I am happy doing the Bowen in for Burmo. I'm happy with that, and then we move into game week 15, where I've got 2 free transfers, and it means that I will be able to look. Well, me and Ray are potentially going to be doing either a Patreon or a live stream. I don't know which one yet, but potentially doing something where we'll be looking at what transfers we'll be doing, even if it means doing a -4 to bring in 3 players. But we will have more information by game week 15, and we will understand whether or not Haaland is worth having in. But unfortunately, as a state, I really don't think he is. Ray, is there anything you want to talk about, or do you think that comes to a natural conclusion to the stream?
Yeah, I would really, and it's a lot around what's happening in the football world. I wanted to bring it up to you, and very interested what the chat say as well. Is Mohamed Salah has had, he's come out quite openly discussing his contract talks, and I wanted your thoughts on it before I kind of talk about it from my end, because I've got a lot to say about it. I wanted to, I really wanted to. I respect your opinion a lot, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are about Salah coming out so publicly talking about his contract.
To be completely frank, I don't know much about it other than he's just said that, he's thinking of leaving. I don't know the ins. I mean, could you just give me a paraphrase version of what he said?
Yeah, after the game against who did they play before? Southampton game, I think it was. He was in the mixer zone, so that's where all the journalists come and, hey, do you have something to say? And he's only been there 2 or 3 times. Now, after the Manchester United game where they beat them 3-0, he came out and said, this could be the last time I play at Old Trafford. We're talking at the moment, nothing's on the table, and I don't know how much they want to keep me and everything like that. And at that time, I kind of let it slide. And then after the Southampton game, he kind of said, he came out actively, spoke to them and said, well, it looks like I'm more out than in at the moment. They haven't come to me with a contract offer at all, so this could be my final year, and I've loved playing here all these years. And obviously what he's saying is not what the bad thing is. It's just coming out and saying it publicly is what I have an issue with. I kind of wanted your thoughts about it as well.
I think there could be some maliciousness behind what Salah potentially has said, where maybe he coming out publicly and allowing the public to kind of maybe push or back the Liverpool owners and whomever's in charge of the contract or whatever into a corner and be like, wait a minute here. Salah's agent has come to us and said, look, this guy loves Liverpool. He's been at this club for, how long has he been there for? 6, 7 years? 8 years?
Yeah, I think 8 years. Yeah.
8 years, right. 8 years he's been here for. He's done everything that you wanted. He's won every single cup you can imagine. He's scored a record number of goals for you. He's bordering on a Liverpool hero. And all we're doing is asking you for X amount of hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. And you're not willing to give it. Okay. That's on you. but we've got other clubs that are really, really interested in him. Salah really wants to stay. If you're not willing to give what we want for this player, see you later. And of course, if someone like Salah comes out to the public and says, essentially, yeah, this is probably the last thing because my management don't want me. They don't want to pay what I want. All the outrage is going to come from the Liverpool fans and say, just sign him up, pay him whatever he wants, we need him.
That's exactly what they've done.
Well, yeah. Then the Liverpool board are going to be like, wait a minute here, this is not looking good for us. Just give him what he wants, potentially. I mean, I always equate footballers or any form of sport to real life. And I think to myself, well, if you're in a position of absolute power in a workplace and you're really valuable to your company, and all you're asking, like, I'll be completely frank with you, it's the same at our place of work, to be honest. Our department believe that we shouldn't be on a band 2. We 100% should not be on band 2. We should be on band 3. We're not asking for band 4, not asking for band 5, we're asking for band 3. This is the NHS for anybody listening in. We've got the pay structures, bands, and all this nonsense. But anyway, we're asking for a band 3, which basically equates to 50 quid extra a month, Ray. And I've legitimately said the only way this department management will listen to anything we have to say is if we went on strike. Unfortunately, I can't go on strike, and a lot of the other guys can't because they're not part of the reps or whatever it is. I don't quite understand the ins and outs of it, but someone did tell me that unfortunately you haven't got a leg to stand on. And the reality is that if we had some kind of backing from the public to basically say, this is outrageous, you should be giving these people the band 3 that they deserve or whatever, the managing would be like, just do it because this is looking really, 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 really bad for us. I think that's all that Salah's done. I think that's all he's done. And it's a bit like, again, in a place of work where you're just venting your frustration. Maybe not in a public way that obviously Salah does because of the millions upon millions of people that are going to be watching him on TV or whatever, or even via social media. But certainly in our places of work where it's just a small little community, we go around telling anybody that's outside of our department, we say how disgusted we are with our pay, and they always say, well, you know, I think it's wrong that you're not getting band 3, what have the management say? And they go, well, they're looking into it and stuff. Every department in the hospital knows that our department deserves to be paid more. There's nothing they can do, but obviously this is slightly different because this is however it works within our own things. But certainly, yeah, in a very, very long-winded way, I think he's just done this to back Liverpool into a corner. Anyway, I can now breathe. Go ahead, Ray. What do you think?
Yeah, so I've got a lot of feedback when I put a post out about how he's acted, and I think Van Dijk and Trent are also on their final year, and I think they've conducted themselves with the class and dignity that I expect compared to Salah. I think what Salah's done with the public airing of this information has been selfish and vindictive, personally. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and some people on the chat, with all due respect, you've kind of been caught in the web of deceit of Salah as well. He knows that because he is a hero, he is a legend. In my opinion, he's the best Liverpool player to play in the Premier League during its 30 years. I think he's above Gerrard. His stats show it. I think what he's done is just incredible. He'd be in my all-time 11. Salah deserves what he's kind of asking for, Steve-O. There's no doubt about that. But the way he's going about it, I think, is really classless because he knows that Liverpool fans are going to go crazy on X and everything like that. But let's put this in another. Let's put another scenario here. If he gets what he wants, it's going to create a precedence for other Liverpool players, other players from other teams. Bukayo Saka might do it one day. You know, you really want me to stay? Well, I'm going to publicly air it. And what you're doing is you're strong-arming your employers. And when you strong-arm your employers, usually there's only one person that wins, and it's not the employee. Now, with Salah doing what he's done, it's put Liverpool in a really tough spot here because obviously they've offered him a contract, but it's not what he wants. He probably wants, it's all ridiculous money, Steve-O, but he probably wants 400k a week. And we're like, no, we're going to give you 300k a week, or we're only going to offer you 2 years and you want 3 years. I genuinely feel if I'm putting my employment hat on here, you know, my ops hat here, as you know what my role is in work, is that if someone strong-armed me, no matter how brilliant they are and stuff like that, I'll say, look, if you're not going to go for what we've offered, then with a very much with a lot of regret and a lot of emotion, I'm going to have to let you go to set a precedence for the rest of the team here. And that's why I really like what Van Dijk and Trent have done to repeat again, is that they have not come out and publicly aired their issues. You know what they've said? There's conversations at the moment. We hope to come up with a conclusion. And I think with Salah not doing that, very disappointingly, and I know it's a very strong word because Salah is an incredible model footballer. You know, if I wanted my son to become a footballer, I'd be like, look at the way this guy plays, look at the way he conducts himself. But I think he's been very vindictive the way he's done it here because he knows everyone's going to go on side and strong arm the club, Steve-O. And I think that's, I'll be very honest with you. I mean, I don't know the guy, obviously, I'm no one. But, you know, I'm very disappointed in the way he's done it, isn't it? Because, again, it sets a precedence. That's what might happen. So, yeah, now I can breathe.
Johnny Chapman saying it's kind of tough to equate the normal job market with Premier League contracts. There are plenty of skilled enough people to replace any greedy employee. There aren't that many Mo Salahs in the world. Very, 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 very valid point indeed. Again, I can only look at it from that personal point of view and think from a psychological way, how would I feel if? But I get the point what Johnny is saying there. I think that brings us to a natural conclusion, Ray, unless, again, you have anything more to add, or can we all just
go
and watch Prison Break?
Yeah, I'll go and watch The Jackal, and just wanted to, first of all, say, as always, thank you, everyone who joined us on the live. Thank you, Steve-O, for giving me that nice surprise that we're going to read out the results. I'm so excited to watch the rerun and just see your live reactions and your face. But
make sure you clip it, send it to me, and I can put it on TikTok.
I will do. I'll do a whole couple of minutes. But otherwise, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say that. So tomorrow's going to be busy. The next few days is going to be a very, very, very busy day of streaming for Elite FPL. So we've got tomorrow watch along of all the afternoon games. Well, the 1:30 kickoffs. We're then doing Sunday surgery at 8 PM with Jason. Then on Monday, I may be calling in a favour, Ray, and asking you if you could do a live stream with me if Jason can't. Then on Tuesday, we're not doing anything. And then Wednesday, we've got the watch along where we're going to be having, I'm going to have to look at the fixtures just to remind myself who the people are, because there's so many bloody people covering the matches, it's ridiculous. But for Wednesday, remember it's Amazon Prime Day, we've got Gary, aka FPL Have a Beer, covering Everton versus Wolves. We've got FPL Semi-Casual doing Man City versus Nottingham Forest. We've then got Roberta doing Newcastle versus Liverpool. We then have Trigger Lips doing Southampton versus Chelsea. We've then got Nick of FPL Juice covering Arsenal versus Man United. And then, along with Jason covering Arsenal versus Man United, we then have him covering Aston Villa versus Brentford. And I'm literally not going to have anything in my ears whatsoever other than them guys. So it's going to be a very, very, very busy week indeed from Elite FPL. So make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. And make sure you're hitting the like button as well for tonight's stream if you have enjoyed it. If you are listening on the replay, make sure you are just commenting, giving feedback on what you think about Ray's thoughts are on Salah. That'll be interesting to read. Other than that, I've got nothing else to say other than let's get the hell out of here. Enjoy your evening, enjoy match of the day, and we will see you tomorrow at 1:30. Give them a wave, Ray. Let's just give them all a wave. Fuck me.
Bye.
Yeah.